We all know someone like this. Maybe it's even you. Someone with just incredible potential, but they struggle to actually bring it to life because of one constant enemy: distraction. Well, today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story that explores this exact battle.
It's a question I think we've all wrestled with, right? We tend to believe that just having the talent or the intelligence is like a golden ticket. But what if it's not? What if the most crucial ingredient to success is actually something else entirely?
So let's explore this through the story of our main character, a kid named Ryan. Now, Ryan was brilliant. He had a crystal clear dream of becoming a doctor. He seriously had all the raw talent you could ever ask for, but he was caught in this paradox that was just holding him back.
And here you can see the core of his problem laid out so clearly. On one side, you've got this huge dream and his undeniable potential. But on the other side, well, that's his reality. A mind constantly being pulled away by his phone, by social media, and of course that classic excuse, I'll study later. Ryan genuinely believed his intelligence alone would be enough to carry him through.
But that belief, that just being smart was going to be enough, well, it was about to face its biggest test yet. A moment was coming that was going to force Ryan to confront the massive gap between who he could be and who he actually was.
This was not just any old test, the school scholarship exam. This was a gateway. It was a critical step that would make his dream of becoming a doctor so much more achievable. I mean, the stakes were incredibly high.
And he didn't just miss out on the scholarship. He failed the exam, period. His heart just shattered. And to make it all worse, all of his friends, the ones who studied regularly, they all did really well. The shame was just immense, and the same teachers who used to praise his potential were now looking at him with disappointment.
And right there, in that moment of failure, Ryan had this huge realization. It hit him like a ton of bricks. This wasn't about a lack of intelligence. It was a lack of discipline. He finally got it. Potential without discipline, it's like a sports car with a powerful engine but absolutely no one in the driver's seat.
So, this brings us to the turning point. Ryan knew he had to change, so he went looking for a mentor, and he found Coach Miller. Now, the coach was known not just for physical training, but for helping students build that mental muscle of focus.
To teach Ryan a lesson, the coach did something really clever. He didn't give him a lecture. He just handed him a bow and arrow and told him to hit a target. Ryan shot, and he missed. And then came the coach's simple but incredibly powerful question.
Ryan's answer, it revealed everything. He wasn't just looking at the target. Nope. He was looking at the trees, the field, the entire board. His gaze was scattered, totally unfocused, and it was a perfect mirror of how he approached his studies.
And that was it. That was the core of the whole lesson. The coach connected that missed arrow directly to Ryan's life. His phone, his social media, his daydreams, those were the trees and the field. To succeed, he had to learn to see only the target, his goal.
Now, Coach Miller didn't just leave Ryan with a cool metaphor and send him on his way. He gave him a practical, actionable plan to build the discipline he was missing. 4 simple, straightforward rules.
So these 4 rules became Ryan's new playbook. First, consciously take control of your thoughts. Anytime your mind wanders, you physically pull it back. Think of focus like a muscle you have to train. Second, build a routine you can't break, because structure actually creates freedom. Third, and this is a big one, physically get your distractions out of the way. Put the phone in another room. And fourth, he had to understand that this is a daily practice. It's not a one-time fix. You got to show up every day.
So, the million-dollar question. Did this practical advice actually work? Let's take a look at how Ryan's story unfolds after he started putting these 4 rules into practice. This timeline really shows the transformation. And notice, it wasn't instantaneous, but it was dramatic. He started putting the rules into practice, turning off his phone, sticking to his schedule. And yeah, it was hard at first, but his focus slowly started to improve. And within just a few months, he could study for hours, totally concentrated. And the result? He didn't just pass the next big exam, he aced it. He came in first place. Let's be really clear about this. Ryan's incredible turnaround, it wasn't because he suddenly got smarter. His intelligence was always there. The victory came from his new ability to harness that intelligence through sheer, hard-won discipline.
So what's the ultimate lesson we can take from Ryan's journey? Well, Coach Miller left him with one last powerful metaphor that just perfectly sums up the challenge of mastering our own minds. This just captures the whole idea so beautifully, doesn't it? Our minds, they're full of all this potential and energy.
They can either run wild and drag us all over the place, leading us nowhere, or they can be trained, disciplined, and guided to carry us exactly where we want to go.
Ryan's story isn't just about some kid in a story. It's about the potential that's inside all of us. He found his way by building a routine, getting rid of distractions, and just practicing every single day. So the final question really is for you. What steps will you take to tame your own wild horse and point it toward your destination?